Good morning to each and every one of you. First, I give my gratitude again to Father Aaron Charles, the rector of St. Christopher's Parish and the manager of St. Cyprian's Anglican School. I give greetings and honor to Principal Annette Pope and all the hard-working teachers and staff of that historic school. Today, I also honor the ancillary staff and the members of the PTA and all the supporters of the school. I bring you greetings from St. Elizabeth's Episcopal Church in the historic city of Elizabeth, New Jersey, where I now serve as the rector. I tell you this, today is an exciting day for you. Many years ago, I had the honor of serving St. Christopher's Parish as their rector. It was my first parish. I never served as a manager before and had to learn very quickly as there were many challenges which were facing both St. Christopher's and St. Cyprian's Anglican schools. The challenges of each were unique to their own location, of course, to their own culture, because as you know, Cyprian is totally different than Santa Flora. At that time, it was not the school of choice of many in the Santa Flora community. Can you imagine they wanted to go to Palo Seco government, Rancho government, or even Santa Flora government over our good school? They had to be crazy. But it was a dark and terrible time for us. We faced the threat of removal of some of the teachers because the school population was dwindling, and sadly, even possibly closure. So I went about with Mrs. Holder, who was the principal at the time, and her staff, and we worked with many community leaders and community members. And we were not only able to save the school from closure, but was able to upgrade much of its buildings and its facilities. We even worked with local contractors to rebuild the sports ground. And some sponsored the cricket and football game. The best days, of course, is when we beat those other schools in the area. We were number one in cricket and in football. Ray. However, my friends, it is important for me on this occasion to share with you something even greater and more exciting. So I chose for my theme, Beyond Tomorrow. I chose those simple but profound words to help you, provide you with a vision for yourselves, much further than you may see right now. Beyond Tomorrow is an invitation to join with others who had dreams way beyond the present realities and set about making them come true. I give you a bit of history. Many years ago, there was a Father Frank Cooper before my time, before Father Charles' time, of course. And he came to this parish and met communities that were in need of spiritual care and other services. And he wanted to ensure that what they got was equal to or better than what others may be getting in the cities of Port of Spain and San Fernando. He recognized the struggles of boys and girls who wanted to have an education, but found it very difficult. So he decided to make their dreams come true. He began the work in 1957, first locating this piece of land which you are now sitting upon. Then he was able to get ownership of the property donated by people in the community, and some of it, part of it, by the TPD Petroleum Company, who had owned most of the properties around at that time. He got some good donation from Shell, which was another oil company those days. And he started to build upon that property to create a space upon which a school for the boys and girls in the Santa Flora area would be able to come and sit and learn. Sadly, he was not able to see the end of the project. But the good thing with us as priests, when one starts a project, another one comes and builds upon it. Just as Father Aaron is doing a fantastic job of building upon the work of all the other priests that came before him. So let us give Father Charles a wonderful round of applause. So let's get back to the story. After Father Cooper left, Father Basil Tonks came. He was from South Africa. They were two brothers. One of them came to my island of Tobago. And Father Tonks saw the completion of that building in 1958. So by 1959, January the 12th, it was the formal opening of St. Cyprian's Anglican School. You see, my boys and girls, Father Cooper had a dream. And that dream was way beyond tomorrow. Because he's no longer alive. He is gone, being the great beyond. He now sits in heaven with God. But he's now able to look down and see his dream that was way beyond tomorrow. Now his dream has come true. Yes, my friends. He was able to see that boys and girls in Santa Flora community can have a good education. My children, there's a whole new world that is being created before us. And that world was unimaginable even for me. And I'm still young, you know. And yet, I inherited the work of a dreamer and saw it as valuable to build upon it. You children of St. Cyprian's graduation class of 2021 will be part of one of the most exciting times of human history. I tell this to my kids every day. And my kids are doing some exciting stuff here. Can you imagine? My 9-year-old daughter is learning to do coding in school. It's amazing. She's already doing computer science at age 9. Oh, yes, it will be an exciting time. Let me tell you some of the things that I could share with you will be happening in your time. You will be creating, believe it or not, flying cars. Yes. Oh, yeah. You will be creating flying ships. Ships will no longer just be floating along on the sea. They'll be floating above the sea and they'll be whoosh and gone. Oh, yeah. You will be able to travel fast underwater. You'll be leaving Trinidad and going to Tobago with a submarine and getting there so fast. Oh, yes, it will be exciting times. In Trinidad, you'll be developing your own spaceships and space rockets right out of Wallafield or Labrie. Trust me, it will be happening. And you will be participating sometimes in daily outing trips. You will be flying those spaceships, taking people up to space for an outing and bringing kids right back down and putting them back right here at Santa Flora Anglican School. Oh yes, it will be an exciting time. In your time, most of the technology of today will be old. It will be obsolete. Teachers will now be assisted not by Zoom. They now have holograms. And you'll have computers, not just computers, but robots in your classrooms. And robots will be driving you along the streets. Robots will be delivering all your food to your home, so you won't even have to go to the supermarket anymore. Oh yes, beyond tomorrow. Exciting times. Beyond tomorrow, will be one of the periods of the greatest leaps and bounds of technology being integrated into your lifestyles. Your telephone is going to do amazing things. Your time at St. Cyprian's, my friends, under the guidance of Principal Pope and her staff, is geared towards preparing you for that world. In the beyond tomorrow world, all your unique gifts and skills will be needed towards caring for the environment, changing the way in which we care for the earth, which we love. Oh yes, I remember the days in Santa Flora. The water will taste yucky. Oh, that water would smell so bad. And many of the kids used to be coming to school with all kind of skin problems because the water that was being given to you in those days then was horrible. In your time, you'll be getting clean water. You'll be using water from beach camp, from the sea, pumping it to your house, and right in your house, you will be changing that seawater into fresh water and then pumping back the rest into the sea, clean as ever. Exciting times, my friends. Beyond tomorrow. However, what is valuable for you to know is that even beyond tomorrow, God, great God, is already waiting for you. There is a 5-finger prayer which I teach my children. Here it is. God is always with us. Say it with me. God is always with us. One more time. God is always with us. God is always with you. I want to leave you with a very true story, and I'll be quick. One day, while I was in Brooklyn visiting a hospital, I met a young man on the street. He came and said to me, Father Moore, I'm so happy to see you. And I looked at him. He looked familiar, and he said, Father Moore, you can't remember me, don't you? I said, I'll be honest, you look familiar, but I really can't remember because, you see, I've worked and served in so many different places. And then he reminded me he was a past student of Santa Flora Anglican. And now he was here in Brooklyn doing some fantastic and exciting studies. Amazing. Children of St. Cyprian's are all over the world. They are doing fantastic things in every part of the world you can imagine. But then, here what happened. I asked him, what do you remember about Santa Flora? He laughed, and then he said, Father Moore, you remember the stories you used to come and tell us during worship? I said, oh yeah, how can I forget? He said, you remember the one about Jesus and the fishes? I said, that was my favorite. He said, you remember it? Of course I did. And children, let me tell you that story because he remembered it. And I want to end with you and end my presentation to you with it. Jesus went out to preach to 5,000 people. And a little boy heard Jesus was coming to his village. And he said to his mommy, Mommy, I want to go and see Jesus. But mommy said to him, boy, I have to work. I can't go. He said, Mommy, it's okay. Some of my friends are going along and I'll be okay. I will be safe. So she got up early in the morning, made some 5 cakes. She made 2 fish sandwich and with those fishes, and she packed a nice lunch bag. And she went and she gave it to him and he went off. And he was excited and he was going along and Jesus was preaching all day. And then the people got hungry. And Jesus said to his disciples, we got to feed these people. The disciples said, Jesus, we don't have enough money to feed 5,000 people. There's not even a KFC around here. Where are we going to get food from to feed them? And they started to quarrel with Jesus until the little boy overheard it. And he went and he touched Jesus. And Jesus said, "Yes, son, how can I help you?" The boy said to Jesus, "Jesus, I know not much, but mommy gave me these few fishes and these few pieces of bread for my lunch. Can I give it to you? Can it help?" And Jesus looked at the boy and smiled and hugged him, and he took him and put him in front of all the crowd, and then he blessed those little bit of food that he got, and before your very eyes, the whole set of people that was sitting there were able to eat and eat and eat until their belly was so full they had to lay down and sleep right there. And the boy was so excited because Jesus blessed him. And then what he did, he ran home to his mommy and said, "Mommy, mommy, 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 don't you know what happened today?" His mommy said, "What happened today, son? What happened?" And the boy said to him, "Today, Jesus and I were making miracles together." That's the story he remembered. Boys and girls of St. Cyprian's School, beyond tomorrow, you and Jesus will be making many miracles together. Miracles where sick children will be treated with new medicine. Hungry people will be fed with new technology. I played with you. There will be times, there will be obstacles, there will be challenges, and there are times you will fall and fail, but I want you always to remember the 5-finger prayer. God is always with you. Now go beyond tomorrow. Amen.